very fittingly, um, we're gonna round robin narration this one with everyone in chat, starting at the top of the Discord speaking order, which is Alex, then Eben, if you want to read, me, Kit, Mafa, Riley, Cadet, and then looping back around. Um, so we'll basically do this where we each read a paragraph, or if you've got like these little one sentence things, just friggin' glom it on to the next paragraph. So like the first person to read sentences 1, 2, and paragraph 1,
Hmm.
and so on and so forth. I think there's only a couple that are like one sentence long, and the rest are all decent paragraphs. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, actually, the first person to read should probably read the first 2 lines, and then whoever's next can read the next bit. Anyway, this is a stories about. This is an epilogues or post canon story, and it's I believe if I remember correctly, it is a series of like stories about the characters from Homestuck. So it references all of them.
Like little urban legends.
Yeah. So summary is there are stories about the smallest and most impossible things. Alex, go on and take it away with the first 2 lines, and then we'll
Will
go
do.
from there.
There are stories about them, you know. Just whispers, barely, but true ones. That ring with clarity and belief.
Get an astronaut drunk. Really probe them with questions. They'll tell you about seeing a woman in space who dances brightly and sprightly in the weightlessness of gravity. No spacesuit, simply dressed in a long black dress. Watch her long enough, and after a while, she'll fade into the darkness of the vast empty surrounding them, into the stars and void. At least one swears that her tether snapped once and the woman brought her back.
Sometimes she'll wave. The most brilliant of seamsters will occasionally find their creations tweaked, just a little, a stitch or two there changed, the cut fastened hanging perhaps a little more sharply or swooping down further. They swear each alteration is fundamentally transformative, turns a good outfit into a masterpiece.
Detectives find notes and tips on their desks, sometimes. Things no one could possibly have known, and they're always right. Good lawyers got pieces of evidence in their inboxes right before a big trial, and each case go down as one for history books. Computer programmers find, Computer programmers find small, impossible bugs in their code worked out with no evidence of who the editor was.
In hospitals, there is a woman in bright blue who will hold your hand through birth, who will comfort and soothe you when the enormity of disease catches up to you, who watches over babies in the NICU. She sings lullabies and does not flinch at blood, will snap orders at surgeons who clearly don't know what they're doing.
Elders speak of a woman in red who walks their dreams and speaks of a promise of a better tomorrow. Just hold on a little longer, she'll tell you. It's all right. Just a little longer and then you can come with me. Those with near-death experiences will talk about a woman who told them it was not their time. She never stops smiling.
At meetings of the faithful, at protests full of righteousness, there will sometimes be a man who stands there and nods or holds a sign of his own, and no one knows his name, but he yells and protests and smiles in holy places. He never stays long enough for someone to ask his name.
Some say there's a man with wings who will come to your aid when you don't know how to say no, to infuse you with the strength you didn't know you had. He will dry your tears and tell you it's okay to cry, and that it's fine, and that is what makes you alive.
There's a girl who attends Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and will speak from experience and wears pink heart-shaped glasses, and her smile is bittersweet. If I can do it, you can too, she says, and somehow they believe her. She never attends twice.
When siblings snarl and break bones and no one believes you, the forums say, sometimes a figure draped in black will come. Her skin is green and her teeth are sharp, and she will ask if you need help. Say yes, What she provides is a saving grace.
Folk speaks of a man in orange with a scar on his desk. I'm starting that over. I lost my place. Folk speak of a man in orange with a scar on his desk throat who undo not, who dulls blades, who hides the pills when you reach for them. He flickers in and out, and sometimes there seems to be more than one of him.
And for the little girls who have lost their identities to the stories of other people comes a little girl herself, who has a sad smile and buck teeth, and frizzy hair and big round Harry Potter glasses. She will take your hands and say, "Everything you are is a story worth telling," and she speaks the truth.
In the darkness of apartments, where none of it seems to matter, where dishes pile up and laundry lies on the floor, and someone sits, boneless tired just from waking up, sometimes the dishes will become clean, and a piano melody drifts from somewhere you cannot tell. It is sad, but hopeful, and sounds like Chopin.
For the girls who find their mothers drinking latte, who cannot seem to discover how to be loved, who are burning and bright and screaming in the dark, there's another, blonde and lilac-dyed, who will leave books on windowsills and tell stories and say, "None of it is your fault."
The boys with bruises have a man dressed all in red with black shades who sneaks in at night, and sometimes he brings death to the ones who hurt them. Sometimes he brings healing to their scratches and wounds. He never leaves without helping.
And for the girls who want nothing more than to be more than what their world has made them. They have the taste of salt in their mouth, and a woman in blue who says, "They are wrong about you."
No one ever makes the connection between them, but they don't need to. At the end of the night, each of them go home to a secret place and know that they have each saved the world again. And maybe it's not fighting the way they once did, but it's enough. For them and for the world, it's enough.
That was lovely.
That was
I always say that
really,
about every
really
fic that we read,
sweet.
but it's really good. Yes,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Loved it.
And for those who are unsure what the characters are, it says in order the characters mentioned or alluded to are Jade, Kanaya, Terezi, Solux, Jane, Aradia, Karkat, Jake, Roxy, Calliope, Dirk, Jade again, Egbert, Rose, Dave, and Vriska. So that was really, really sweet. I really like that. That was a very clever idea for a fic.